how much does it cost to get started day trading stocks? And I want to walk you through a step-by-step guide that you really should use. And it's a guide, it's a process that's going to put you in the best position possible to give yourself a chance at success. I won't say guarantee success because nobody can offer a guarantee. But if you want to put yourself in, like I said, the proper place to have a chance at success as a trader, then you're going to want to use this process in order to, well, like I said, it's really just a big mental game that you're playing with yourself. Now, as far as, well, what do I need? How much do platforms cost? How much? I'm not talking about any of that stuff. That stuff, it's kind of, I mean, it matters, but it doesn't really matter. It's kind of, it's noise, because even if you spend $0, so let's just say it's $0, which it could be. So you don't need anything. Platforms are free, commissions are free, scanners are free, all that stuff is free, which is true. But there is still another cost out there that is hidden, and it gets people all the time. It got me when I got started. And if you're not careful, it can always potentially get you. And this is the cost of, well, running a business. Again, not the overhead cost, but what I like to call right here, the cool and calm cost. Now, this is very, very unique to us as traders, okay? This is something that most other businesses, they don't necessarily have to worry about, but as traders and as an FYI, you better be treating trading as a business if you want to have success. If you think that this is just a casino, I guess that's your prerogative. I look forward to taking your money. Other people that treat it seriously look forward to taking your money. But assuming you do want to have success, assuming you want to take this serious, then this is a business. You are an entrepreneur. And like any business, there are startup costs and there are ongoing costs. And in trading, the cool and calm cost is the most important. So how do we figure all this out, and how does it, work down into your trade plans, your strategy as a trader? And I'm just going to make these numbers up to keep the math easy. But the first step, the first part of this guide that you need to ask yourself is this: how much, let me put this in another color, do not care. And right here, this is huge. Meaning, and this sounds really, this sounds very greedy. It sounds very selfish. It just sounds really bad, but it's just got to be the way it is. But how much money do you just not care about at all? Like if that money just disappeared, you're like, who cares? Like who cares? Like again, in a very practical, in a very humane way, that's a terrible attitude to have, right? Because you want to value, you don't want to just squander money. But this is the mentality you have to have. Step one of the guide: how much do you not care to lose? So if I tell you $5 and you're like, $5, who cares? If I tell you 5,000, you're like, who cares? I don't know what that amount is. Now, if I tell you 1 penny and you're like, oh, no, that's a waste, then you're not going to be a trader. I commend you for being so frugal. I commend you for respecting and honoring money so much. I get it. I'm not judging you, but don't even try trading, okay? If 1 penny, if losing money at all, no matter what the amount, freaks you out, then don't try trading. It's just not going to work out. But step one, how much do you just simply not care about? You have to, and it's got to be, don't lie to yourself. What amount could just disappear and it doesn't affect you at all? You literally are like, who cares? Like, savage attitude, but that's the attitude you need. So that's of the guide, step one. Second is you're going to have this amount. So, and like I said, just to keep the math easy, let's say that this amount is $1,000. So you know that you have, well, ultimately your risk amount, right? Whoops. And this is just the overall risk amount. Now, why is this important? Why is this falling under the category of a cool and calm cost? Well, I don't care how good you are using trading tools, level twos, technical analysis, reading the tape, understanding income statements and cash flow statements. I don't care how good you are at that stuff. I don't care how great your strategy is. If you are freaking out, if you are not cool and calm during a trade, you're just going to freak yourself out. And if you've never taken a trade before, if you've never had money on the line, maybe this seems like I'm being overly dramatic, but I assure you, there are a lot of mental games. There are a lot of voices that live in your head that are going to cause you to just do bizarre things. However, you can very, I don't want to say for sure, but you can tilt things in your favor to be able to ignore these voices, not worry about them if you are able to stay cool and calm. Which means, okay, but how do you stay cool and calm? By working with an amount of money that you don't care about. You're just like, who cares if I lose this money? Doesn't matter. That's how you stay cool and calm. Because the only way to actually follow a strategy, to follow a trade plan, is to remain cool and calm within the overarching framework of it all. So if you can't remain cool and calm, I don't care how great the strategy is, you're just going to screw it up. And that's a fact of the matter. So that is why we got to stay cool and calm. That is why you got to figure out that number. And now once we have that number, we have our risk amount. So now the next question becomes, so part 3 of the guide here is not how much, but how many. Meaning you're going to get a little negative here and you're going to say, you know what? Let's just say I'm a terrible trader. And you know what? Every single thing I do, I'm just going to lose. Now, this is my opinion, and this is what I think you should do because I think it's a good sample size and it'll give you enough. Now, I'm not saying it's enough to figure things out, but assuming you actually invest in learning, invest in knowledge, go through some structured training, then this will give you a ballpark where you can start to mold and manipulate things. But how many you should at least be planning? Like I said, if you want to do more, that's fine. But I think a good number here is 10. Meaning you're going to give yourself 10 trades where, assuming worst case, everything just poof, right? The money's gone. The $1,000 is gone, right? Your risk amount. So that brings up the final thing, and this is what it's bleeding down. So we have our risk amount, but now this is going to tell us about our trade risk. Meaning, and don't worry, the math here is very simple. All we are taking is, have I used all the colors already? I don't know. So many colors yet. All right, I'm going with this one. No, I haven't used this one. So what is this? How do you figure out the trade risk? Well, you are going to take the number from number 2. You're going to take $1,000, right? Your risk amount, and you're going to divide it by the number of trades that you want to give yourself. So 10. So not to insult your mathematical skills, but that means at most you should be risking $100 per trade. And there you go. Now you have a backbone of risk that can help you keep cool and calm during the trade plan. Because again, remember, this is all built upon the premise that you just don't care about this $1,000 at all. So therefore, you definitely shouldn't be caring about that $100. You better be looking at that number, whatever that number is, and saying like, yeah, I realize it makes me sound so ungrateful, but I don't care. I don't care if that money disappears. And if you can do that, now you're setting yourself up to give yourself a chance to actually be able to have a chance at success, because the only way you're going to have a chance at success is to be able to stay cool and calm. And the only way you can stay cool and calm is you need to factor in this cost. You need to assume that you will just be losing that money. And if you do that, then you're putting yourself in the right position possible. So yeah, I get it. Well, you have platforms and scanners and software and all. How much is that? That stuff is worthless, right? Do you see why it's worthless? Because you could have all the latest and greatest stuff, but if you can't stay cool and calm, then who cares? You're just wasting your money with all those other things. Because at the core, this is what it's all about. This is the cost that matters. How much does it cost to get started trading? I don't know. How much is it going to cost to keep you cool and calm? And that's going to be different from everybody. We're all different creatures of risk tolerance. We're all at different locations within our financial journey. So I don't know how much it's going to cost you. But what I can tell you is this is how you figure out what it should be costing you to get started as a trader. So hopefully this helps out. And hopefully this can kind of help you manage things in terms of getting you cool and calm, cool and calm, and then also helping you start to manage risk. How much should you be risking within a trade? And then from there, you can start to, engineer a trade plan that works for you. If you enjoyed the video, one final thing before I go, hit that like button. That really helps me out. I have no idea. Was this a total waste of my time? If it wasn't a waste of my time and you feel like you're walking away better prepared, then please hit that like button. Also leave a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you as listeners and viewers. Comments, questions, suggestions. I do read comments. I will reply to them. And then finally, check out this channel as a whole. Lots of other videos out there, from live trade videos, other videos like this. There's a great variety of videos, so check those out and hopefully you decide to hit that subscribe button. But yeah, get out there and figure out, how much does it cost to get started? Well, I don't know. How much is it going to cost to get you cool and calm? First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.